football, but we have the official 5 days until the first NFL rookies report to camp. These guys were in that position last year. Williams, Daniels, May, Penix, McCarthy, Nix. 6 second-year quarterbacks to not only keep an eye out for heading into this NFL season, they have each been handed the keys to their franchises. Some have room for improvement. One hasn't taken a single NFL regular season snap. There are specific steps each one of them have to take. Courtney Cronin has more.
The 6 first-round quarterbacks drafted in 2024 show varying degrees of development. To duplicate the negatives from his rookie film, which included a trip to the NFC title game and Offensive Rookie of the Year honors, Washington Commanders quarterback Jayden Daniels has been in the weight room. As a dual-threat QB, his durability to sustain and avoid unnecessary hits is critical for his growth, as is sharpening his vision in the pocket to become less predictable with his reads. Touchdown! After taking a league-high 68 sacks, the safe light for Caleb Williams is the investment the Chicago Bears made in his offensive line. Williams' dynamism is why he was the #1 pick, but he needs to play better within structure. Coupling his talent with new coach Ben Johnson's innovation is what the Bears believe will produce results. Like Williams, Patriots quarterback Drake May is the beneficiary of added help around him. May's arm talent flickered as a rookie. With a new offense, play caller, and receiver talent, the New England QB is starting to find his stride.
Perfect dime from Drake May!
The Broncos were the surprise team in the AFC, led to the playoffs by Bo Nix. Continued use of his mobility is what Denver hopes will catch defenses off guard, along with his improvement in feeling pressure and consistency on intermediate throws.
That's a Denver touchdown!
Unlike their counterparts, Michael Penix Jr.'s exposure has been limited, while J.J. McCarthy will step on the field for his first NFL game.
The big jump from your first year to your second year is huge.
Got to go out there and prove myself each and every day.
What's done in the dark room this offseason will soon come to light.
Speak of superlatives, JD and DC, certainly one most likely to succeed, took those Commanders to an NFC title game as our front office insider Mike Tannenbaum joins the program this morning to do a deeper dive into now second-year quarterback superlatives. Mike T, which quarterback in their second year has the most at stake this upcoming season?
Caleb Williams, Gary. No team added more for a young quarterback than the Chicago Bears, starting with Ben Johnson, an outstanding quarterback developer. And then you go back to the offseason, 3 veteran offensive linemen led by Joe Thuney, and then you look at what they did on the outside, drafting Luther Burton to go with the receivers they added a year ago, led by Roma Dunze. Then they came back and added Ozzie Trapillo in the second round. And then when you compare his development to Jayden Daniels, there is a massive amount of pressure on Caleb Williams to show improvement early this season.
First overall pick certainly has a lot to bear out there in the Windy City. Which second-year quarterback is most likely, this is a good one, to make an appearance in Super Bowl 60, Mike T? And we're not talking about Radio Row. We're talking about somebody who might actually be playing.
Jayden Daniels, Gary, this one's easy. They got to the championship game as a rookie, and you look at all the things they did. They added Laramie Tunsil at left tackle, Josh Connolly, their first-round pick, at right tackle. They added Deebo Samuel, and then traditionally you have a big increase in your first off-season program, meaning between your first and second year, working with a great quarterback developer in Cliff Kingsbury, their offensive coordinator, a great head coach in Dan Quinn. I'm very bullish on the Commanders and Jayden Daniels.
Just an all-NFC East affair in that NFC title game. All right, Mike T, what about this one? Which second-year quarterback most likely to be an MVP dark horse?
Bo Nix of the Denver Broncos, Gary, and here's why. If we're talking about the Broncos competing with the Chiefs in a meaningful way, it's going to start with their defense, but Bo Nix was extremely efficient as a rookie, better than candidly I expected. They went out and added R.J. Harvey in the draft, a running back, and Evan Ingram, which will just make Bo Nix even more efficient. And you think about what Sean Payton did with Drew Brees, I think Bo Nix is on that sort of trajectory. And if we're talking about a surprise team and the Broncos, which a lot of us are, it's going to be led by their second-year quarterback, Bo Nix.
Yeah, Trevor Scales has been saying Bo Nix is the best quarterback in that AFC West.
What we doing?
He didn't say that. Bo Nix did lead all rookie quarterbacks in passing yards and passing touchdowns last season. Mike Tannenbaum, great to see you as always, my friend. Thanks so much.
Like, say what? When he saw his kid there, but so are Steelers fans. It's the Fowler Files with Jeremy Fowler now. And Jeremy, TJ Watt, he's the top of the conversation here. He continues to want more money, but as we all know, more money, more problems. So what specifically is holding up a new contract?
Well, people have told you around the league, Scooby, believe that it's guaranteed money, it's term length. A lot of the details that get sticky this time of year, especially as you're leading up to training camp. And I talked to somebody with the team who said, look, these are complicated deals to do, but we are working on it. We want TJ Watt here. So there's not a lot of traction right now as far as a potential trade, although there would certainly be a lot of interest if the Steelers would tap into that. But this is a situation where he's probably going to be the highest paid edge rusher in the league when this is all said and done. It just depends on when the Steelers can do it. Typically, they like to do their deals either around training camp or leading into week 1. So this is far from over.
Yeah, so continue to wait on that, Steelers fans. But within that division is another pass rusher hoping to get paid. Bengals all-pro rusher Trey Hendrickson, and during voluntary workouts, he said it's starting to get personal with the way that they were talking over his contract. I mean, America, it was getting messy, but there is some good news here. What is it?
So it's been a little sticky for sure, like you said, but they have resumed talks in recent weeks. They've been in communication. That is the good sign. It has not led to a deal as of yet, but Cincinnati's plan all along has been to sign and extend their 3 top stars, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson. They got the 2 done. They know they need this guy. 17.5 sacks. He was carrying that defense at times last year. It's just, this is a process with a team that doesn't give a lot of guaranteed money beyond year 1 typically, or how they structure their signing bonuses. He wants more long-term security. This is not a year-to-year proposition for him. He's 30 years old, yes, but he feels like he's earned big-time money on a multi-year extension. So we'll see what they can find. And some middle ground that they hope to find. If not, that he is dug in. I mean, he is prepared to miss time here.
Yeah, it seems like every single offseason we're having some type of contract issues out of Cincinnati. But let's stay with the pass rusher theme here. Michael Parsons, he's due for a new deal. Cowboy fans are sitting there wondering, when is that going to get done?
Yeah, so this is kind of a relaxed situation. You know, when I talk to people involved, they're like, look, it's a lull in the summer right now. Not a lot going on. People are on vacation. Team officials are out on the beach somewhere. Once they reconvene for training camp, Dallas will probably lock in on this a little bit more. Typically, they do their deals late in the calendar, you know, late August, early September. We've seen that with CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, some of their other big deals. They are dedicated to doing this, though, and he's almost a separate situation than those other 2 guys we just talked about, because they're in their 30s, they're going on their 3rd contract. This guy's right in his prime, mid-20s, dangerous player, so he's going to get a massive number. It just depends on when they do it. Shouldn't be a problem. The Cowboys got a lot to spend here. They also got Tyler Smith, one of the top guards in the NFL, who's eligible for an extension as well.
Yeah, good for the Cowboys. They always got big money. Everything's bigger in Texas. And we know in a pass-happy league with talented quarterbacks, you need these guys. Parsons, Watt, and Hendrickson combined for 41 sacks last season. If your team won't sign them, someone else will. All right, to the NFL, where the development of second-year quarterbacks will be one of the major storylines of the season. So y'all know what time it is. It's time to open up them Fowler Files. Here with senior NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler. And Jeremy, let's begin in Chicago with Caleb Williams. He gets a beefed-up offensive line, a new head coach. What have you been hearing about him this offseason?
Yeah, so football maturity is going to be a big theme for him league-wide. Talking to other teams are watching it closely because the ability is massive, but how does he comport himself on the field? The Bears have already been working with him on, you know, body language, how you're handling yourself in the huddle, on the sidelines when a play doesn't go right. And the word out of Chicago is he's handled himself well there. Now, some of the previous Bears coaches were not overly thrilled, I was told, that he made public that he's watching film by himself. They felt like he could have handled that a little better from an accountability standpoint. So those are all things people are watching, but word is this offseason he's been great, really taking to Ben Johnson's hard, aggressive coaching.
All right, so what about Jayden Daniels? Because we know this brother was in the MVP conversation his rookie year, coming off a Heisman season in college. What have you been hearing about him after bringing Washington to an NFC championship last year?
Well, he was so good that people wonder, like, hey, is there going to be a sophomore slump here? I was told the Commanders are not worried about that for a few reasons. Number one, Daniels is a maniacal worker. He's like a 5 a.m.er type in the building. So he's putting in the hours, there's no problem. He's also taken off to a hot start with Deebo Samuel, the guy, the receiver they acquired recently.